Avatar collecting is Neopia's favorite pastime. The solutions are undisclosed, and an official list doesn't exist. But we work hard to see pretty pixels and number go up. But even more than that, the Avatar Collector high score table is always lurking in the back of the average Neopian's mind. Being on top is arguably the most prestigious flex in all of Neopia. I'm certainly one to scroll, marveling, and wonder. I have a modest number of avatars and have been around for a while, but what would it take for me to get to the very top? In fact, what would it take for a brand new player to get to the very top? Could they? Is this dream still attainable? I took it upon myself to do the research, and the answer may surprise you. Let's break it down. Avatars are collectible badges with a huge variety of unlock requirements that you can display to share a little bit of your personality and show off your achievements, how long you've been around, how skilled of a gamer you are, or maybe even how many Neopoints you have. But more than just being able to show them off on the boards, there's a bigger prestige with avatar collecting: the high score table. The top 30 avatar collectors in all of Neopets are displayed for all of us to gawk at and wonder how they possibly pulled this off. And landing a spot on the top 50 grants you another avatar, the Avatar Collector avatar, which is perhaps the most notorious badge of glory on all of Neopets. So because of how big of a deal this all is, you'd think that a simple list of all avatars would be something that exists, right? Maybe even on Neopets itself? Of course not. There are plenty of fan sites and pages that have all of the avatars and their solutions gathered in one place, but they aren't as accessible or categorized like I want them to be, and truthfully, I just wanted to dig in and see it all for myself. So I decided to assemble my list manually, and after lots of researching and cross-checking, I can finally, confidently say, I have a list of all avatars ever released on Neopets in one place. So let's break down how many are available now, what happened to the ones that aren't, highlighting some fun or weird cases as we go. I assessed the status and requirements for each avatar and divided them into the following categories: active, broken, discontinued, and retired. Retired avatars are ones that are truly done for good. They were awarded for a limited time under meeting specific requirements that can no longer be met. So no matter how much any avatar collector wants and hopes, there is no getting our paws on these after their event is over. Many of these are plot avatars, meaning they came from a limited time story event, often involving heavy user participation that influences the canon of Neopets. Some are rarer than others. Some avatars are awarded just for participating in a plot, and then there's the Volcano Fairy avatar awarded to 100 people in 2003. Avatars like these are the bane of new collectors, because there's nothing you can do to obtain them ever again. If you weren't battling for Darrigan in 2004, sucks. You'll never add this handsome fella to your roster. So many handsome fellas lost to time, because when the plot's over, they're gone forever. There are 19 retired plot avatars. Other retired avatars were linked to site events. These are different from plots, often being shorter, not inherently involving heavy, canon-shattering story, and often reoccurring. Though even when an event recurs, the avatars aren't always available each year. Like, there's an Altador Cup avatar that is still active that returns with the yearly event, and then there's the avatar awarded for voting in the Altador Cup staff tournament in 2006. You see what I mean? But here's what's crazy. There are tons of these. This is the biggest category of all non-active avatars. The Charity Corner donation event, now cancelled of course, had an annual avatar for each of its 6 years. The Festival of Negs, too, has 8 avatars from its yearly Easter event. 3 April Fool's pranks, 3 TCG tournaments, birthdays, gaming events, Halloween, I could go on. All in all, there are 38 retired site event avatars. Surprisingly, there are only 3 other retired avatars that don't fit into these categories. 2 from mobile games, and 1 from having fought in the old Battle Dome, so a badge of honor for being old, basically. There was another avatar on this list until very recently, like a day ago. We'll get to that in a second. But these 3 are our final retired avatars. This means that, in total, 60 avatars are gone forever. If you're a new collector, take that 60 off the top of your count, because it's not happening. Discontinued avatars are different from retired avatars, though. I'm classing a discontinued avatar as something awarded from a spotlight or a contest that could return. These events were either put on hiatus or seemingly abandoned, but not necessarily outright canceled, and could be resurrected without too much hassle. Whether they actually will, who knows? The point is that it's possible. This might be one of the smallest categories, but they're some of the most taunting to collectors, because we just have to wait and see if one day TNT feels like giving us the site spotlight back. There are 4 discontinued avatars from 4 discontinued site features. The site spotlight, the Better Than You contest, the Lenny Conundrum competition, and Defenders of Neopia. Alright, that was a lot. So let's take a gaming break, shall we? Yeah, when Flash died in 2020, most of Neopets' games went with it. There have been hundreds of Flash games on the site over the years, but only 10 have been converted to HTML5. But it isn't that simple when it comes to the avatars, because some games are still in playable condition using a Flash emulator browser extension. Some of them, though, remain broken. Some of them are reliant on ancient plugins that don't exist anymore, some are broken so bad the browser plugins can't resurrect them, and some are just broken seemingly because it's Neopets, so of course it is. Regardless, if it's an avatar from a broken game, it's in this category. That's 10 more avatars that should be awarded, but have been left behind. I really miss Hannah in the Pirate Caves, by the way. Please just let me play it. I miss her. I'm throwing this fairy oozle off a cliff. So, that's it. That makes 74 avatars out there that we can't get. Gaze at these pretty pixels longingly, because that's as close as you'll be able to get to claiming them for yourself anytime soon. Before we get into the active avatars, there's one more secret section that I'm calling dubious. Basically, their status as active or retired is ambiguous for one reason or another. First, there are 3 avatars that are involved with the current plot, the Void Within. Everything is messy with that right now, we're not even gonna get into it. I'm just putting them in this little box with us, okay? Dubious. Then there are 5 avatars that are just complicated. Altador Cup Staff Tournament. This one's been awarded yearly for the Altador Cup Staff Tournament, but that isn't coming back this year. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens to this avatar. I survived the Neopocalypse. This avatar has been classed as retired for over 10 years, up until literally the day before I was set to record voiceover for this video. This avatar was awarded twice before, both as rewards for surviving pieces of site maintenance. My initial script had a snarky comment about how we've had a lot of site maintenance recently, so they should give this to us again, and I guess my yet unspoken prayers were answered. So, thanks TNT. I always wanted this avatar, seriously. Punchbag Sid. Punchbag Sid is a Battledome opponent that appears randomly, but went dormant for an unclear number of years, all the way up until May 2024. There have been 5 Sid appearances in the last year, which is really promising, but it's still too dubious for me to confidently put in the active category, so Sid is staying dubious, as he deserves. Shrine of Coltson. This one's probably going to appear annually on Coltson Day, but it hasn't been a year as of time of writing, so we'll just have to wait and see. Withdraw or deposit. Similar to Shrine of Coltson, we're just gonna have to wait and see. I've also read that it doesn't increase your high score count, but I've also read that it does. But this item comes from a merchandise code for an item that hasn't even shipped yet, so its future is really up in the air. Top Gamer. I want to put this avatar in the active category, but ethically, I don't know if I can. This avatar is earned by sending scores on 250 plus games in the games room. Remember how I said that only 10 have been converted from Flash? Yeah. Look, according to people on Reddit, it is attainable, even when starting from 0. But the amount of extraneous tech workarounds necessary doesn't make me want to claim this is something everybody should be able to obtain, and something that the site is keeping active, you know? For reference, I joined in 2005 as a kid. I was playing all the Flash games, the sponsor games, like the McDonald's games, all that stuff, and my account's lookup has a total score count of 267. So, there are also 5 avatars that exist, but don't add to your high score. However, Neopets has changed that in the past. So they are dubiously going in our dubious category, though they still won't count towards anything. Alright, we did it! Retired, discontinued, broken, and dubious avatars are done. Take a breath, drink some water, fix your posture, because now it's finally time to talk about the avatars that are actually functional, accessible, and awarded currently. For all the broken games out there, it turns out there are way more playable ones. It was seriously surprising to me how many currently available avatars are actually awarded through games, for achievements like reaching a certain score, beating a certain number of levels, or getting on the high score table. This also includes the daily wheel spins, but doesn't include things like contests or the lottery. The Flash game avatars that are most desired seem to be Snow Roller and Pet Sitter, though I can't speak to that because I am not a Flash game person, which sucks because there are tons of Flash game avatars. But luckily, there are other non-Flash games with avatars like gambling, and gambling, and gambling, and gambling, and a lot more gambling. Speaking of which, I want you to take a gamble. I want you to pause and guess how many active game avatars there are. Put your answer in the comments. I'll give you a second. Okay, ready? There are 72 game avatars. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the avatar collectors are the true top gamers after all. Even after giving all credit where it's due, there are a lot of active avatars that don't require crazy tech workarounds or high scores. Plenty of avatars are surprisingly easy to achieve. Go to this page, feed or equip this to your pet, have this pet or pet, buy this item. Most of the currently active avatars can be completed in a couple clicks. But there are some clickables that are only deceptively easy. Imagine going and clicking on a link, hoping today's the lucky day that that page will grant you the avatar. Only, you've been doing this every day for 20 years. That's the reality of avatar collecting. For these dailies avatars, no matter how much skill, or neopoints, or years on your account you have, there's nothing you can do but click and wait. There are only 14 avatars from dailies, but they're the most notorious. These are the ones that I still need 20 years later. Like the top avatar collectors themselves, we find ourselves facing these last few avatars at the end. Remember how I was saying earlier, how the difficulty of getting the top gamer avatar doesn't make me want to claim this is something that everybody should be able to obtain? Ethically, I don't know if I can. There's another subset of avatars that are theoretically obtainable by anyone, but my god, it doesn't feel like it. These don't require any workarounds to fix broken things, and are consistently obtainable by regular site means, so they're definitely active. It's just a steep climb to get there. These are the stamp avatars. These avatars are granted from completing a page of your stamp album. A page consists of 25 stamps, which are single-use collectibles that have been released via various means over the past 20 years. You can get some from dailies, or in a shop, or they were only awarded 20 years ago as a prize for one of those competitions I mentioned earlier that doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. These stamps, individually, can range anywhere from 1 neopoint each to over 1 billion, with a B, billion, There are multiple stamps that cost over 1 billion each. That's not the kind of money that just everybody has. Even if you make 100,000 Neopoints a day, it would take over 27 years just to make 1 billion Neopoints. And that's just for one stamp out of hundreds. There's a lot I could say about stamps: trading, cost, averages, wealth, cloning, hacking, who knows what else. But that's a topic for another video. For now, I'll just let you fathom how insane it is to be an avatar collector facing 26 avatars for 26 stamp pages with 25 stamps each, meaning 650 stamps in total with an astronomical cost. So even if you beat every game, you got top marks in every plot and side event, you won every contest, you got lucky with every daily, you purchased every piece of merchandise, you clicked every click that is to be clicked, you still owe the high scoreboard billions. And that's the reality of avatar collecting. You have to truly engage with Neopets in every facet. Master the games, engage in the events, do your daily clicks, beautify your account and enter the spotlights, explore the world and the site itself. Dig into what makes Neopets Neopets, give it your all, and have fun. And get lucky. Really, really lucky. So, after all that, let's tally up the final numbers. I'd really love to hear your guesses for how many there are total, how many you think are active versus retired. Do you think it's possible for a new player to reach top 50 and get that avatar? Let me know. Alright, are you ready? There are 9 dubious avatars. 5 that don't count, 4 that have been discontinued, 10 that are broken, 60 that have been retired, and 382 that are active. That gives us a total of 470 secret avatars ever published on Neopets, with 465 avatars as the maximum theoretical top score. 382. That maximum number of active avatars really isn't close to 465 at all. But that's good. That means there's no way anyone else is really that close to 465, right? Yeah. No. The top score on the board as of June 2nd, 2025 is a staggering 453. And the minimum requirement to get on the board? 425. 43 avatars more than can be achieved by a new player. You beat every game. You win every contest. You earn billions upon billions. But it doesn't matter. You'll never be an avatar collector. But there might be hope on the horizon. In the May 2025 update released on May 22nd, while I was finishing the script of this video, the Neopets team made an announcement about this very issue. They said they're intending to implement an expansion of the Avatar high score table, saying it will, quote, showcase more players in the rankings, fostering a competitive and engaging community while increasing opportunities to earn the Avatar Collector avatar. I'm not mad at it, but what is that gonna mean? Bringing that top 50 requirement for the avatar up to like 150? Or something more drastic, like a separate table or removing old avatars or who knows. I have no idea what to expect. And I'm a little nervous, but I have faith in the Neopets team to do their best for us. And I'm excited to see what that means. As for me, I'm sitting at a comfortable 295 avatars. I've been playing since 2005, with a gap of a few years in the middle, so I have some of the retired event and plot avatars, but really not that many. I'm also sitting at a very comfortable 0 stamp avatars and 0 billion Neopoints, and I'm happy with this reality. But if you've got a dream and a few billion Neo points, I'll be cheering you on from my Neo home. Remember how I was saying that a simple list of avatars doesn't exist? It does now. Link in the description, baby! Do whatever you want with it. Put it into a spreadsheet, on a pet page. Print it and frame it and cry and marvel at it. I don't know. I also have, seemingly, the internet's first zip file of all the images of all the avatars, available for you to use. So that is in the description as well. You can also find the full text of this script and other goodies on my Patreon, including a bonus video for every YouTube upload. And don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube as well. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Cybunny Online, signing off for now.